What is unconditional love? And what most people out there are teaching is not the most accurate way. And I believe that is wrong. And this is what I want to share today with you people out there. So thank you very much. Welcome back to another episode of Rapid Subconscious Reprogramming Community. This is Tommy Walker, the Mind Engineer. And every week we're sharing insight tools to help you deal with the different challenges that life might throw at you. So if you're watching live, if you can share with us hashtag live. If you're watching replay, hashtag replay. Let us know if you're there. Here we go. Now you can see me. So let me just change that. Perfect. So thank you very much for watching this. Let me get into this very interesting topic about unconditional love. And why do I say that what a lot of people out there are teaching is wrong? And let me share this with you right now. So unconditional love, as the word says, is that we are loving something, someone, let's put it that way, someone, regardless what they're doing, how they're behaving. It doesn't matter what they're doing, we're still loving them. That doesn't mean that we can set boundaries to try to protect us if that person is trying to take advantage of us, is trying to manipulate us, is trying to, whatever it is, if a person is not behaving correctly, we can still set boundaries. This is a very different thing about setting boundaries and still loving that person. Because if we understand that that person is hurting and is trying to manipulate, is trying to lie to us or is lying to us, is trying to make us feel in this or that way, the truth is that person is hurting. And I love the phrase that a lot of people share is hurt people hurt people. What does that mean? That people that are hurting are going to hurt others. So when we start looking at those people as hurting people, it makes it easier, not easy, but easier to understand that whatever they're doing, it has to do with their unresolved issues. So when we see things that way, it makes it easier to be able to love unconditionally the other person. Because look, if you have kids, right, and you have experienced this, whenever your kids do something that is not appropriate, even if my kids go and kill somebody, I'm going to still love them. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be okay with what they're doing, but I'm going to still love them no matter what. So the idea is that how can we practice that towards others? Because the truth is, if somebody does something to us, and now people are talking about unconditional love. Hey, Tuya, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. So when people are talking about unconditional love, they many times don't accept and love the parts of them that are feeling negative, that are feeling sad, that are feeling lonely, that are feeling something negative. Edgar Tolle, Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins, and many other big names out there teach us to just discard, ignore, throw away the negatives. And sorry, but if there is a part of me that is feeling negative of any kind, negativity around sadness, around, and I'm feeling, shame, feeling jealous, feeling anger, feeling whatever, it means that that part of me needs my attention. It's not about dwelling in the past. It's not about dwelling in the negativity. It's about becoming an observer of that part of me that is feeling negative, to try to understand it, to try to love and accept that part of me. And that is what I truly believe is unconditional love. Because if I'm feeling sad, it means that there's a part of me that is living something in the mind that needs my attention. I'm going to give you an example. Imagine that you had a fight with your partner and now you're feeling lonely. That part of you that is feeling lonely could be associated with what's going on with your partner. Yes, of course. But it could also, and most surely, be associated with something that happened in your past, maybe growing up. You were at school and you were bullied, you were laughed at, something negative happened, right? And you felt lonely. So the mind that has no time might be reliving a moment as if it were happening today. And although you're seeing today what's happening today, the mind might be perceiving that that is another reality. Listen to that, please. The mind could be looking at something as it were a reality, meaning that maybe I was bullied at school and my mind is looking at that memory as if it were happening now. So part of me is feeling like it's being bullied. So instead of just trying to ignore and pretend like, oh, no, my wife is not bullying me or whatever, right? Is wait, there is something running in the mind that I need to address. If I ignore it, if I repress it, that is not unconditional love. When people teach Abraham Hicks that you're not supposed to, deal with the negatives, just deal with them, meaning ignoring that you need to ignore them, push them away, throw them away. What they're actually doing is applying conditional love because you only accept the positives. And there is a reason why there are quote unquote negatives and positives in life. So if I'm feeling negative, why am I happy when I feel, joy? But why can't I embrace also when I feel sad? Because it's painful. Yes, I know the answer. It's very basic. It is painful because the receptors in the mind that can feel pain, physical pain, can also, some of them, perceive emotional or mental pain. So when I'm feeling sadness, I feel pain as if were that I'm feeling physical pain. So the mind is going to try to move away. That's why it resonates so much when these big names out there tell you to push away, to ignore, to put the superhero pose, to try to feel good, but it's not actually dealing with the negatives. So instead, what I would recommend is that you bring your attention to that part of you, acknowledge it, accept it, learn from it. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling anger? Why am I feeling shame? Why am I feeling jealous? Why am I feeling whatever I'm feeling? A lot of people have learned that jealousy is bad, quote unquote, right? And now they repress the part of them that is feeling jealous. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with feeling jealous. The thing is when we act upon it. The difference between feeling something and acting upon it is very different. Okay, so it's important to say, okay, I'm feeling jealous. I'm feeling this urge that is coming up to, I don't know, have a smoke, to do something that maybe it's not the best thing to do, but there's a part of me that's having that. Instead of repressing it, instead of ignoring it, bring presence, become the observer, learn and understand why is that happening. And I promise you that if you do it the right way and you bring unconditional love and you love and accept what is going on, that behavior, that urge, whatever it is, that emotion that is coming up, that negative emotion is going to start slowly dissolving. Because when we feel lonely, instead of pushing away the loneliness, if my kid comes into this room and tells me, hey, Dad, I'm lonely, I'm going to bring presence to my kid. I'm going to ask him, why is he feeling that? What is going on? I'm going to bring presence. What most people do is withdraw your attention from the negatives. So at the end, you are trying to shove something to the back that is going to eventually come back, or it's going to become stronger. So instead of fighting those negatives, I want to really become more conscious of loving and accepting what is. Because spirit, and I believe that we're spiritual beings living a human experience, from spirit, we're supposed to love. Love no matter what. So if you're putting conditions to your love, that is conditional love. If you're not setting any conditions and you're loving and accepting the part of you that wants to drink, the part of you that wants to smoke, the part of you that is feeling angry, the part of you that is feeling sadness, the part of you that has an urge to whatever, have, porn, go be unfaithful with your partner, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Love and accept that part of you. Because when we love and accept that part of us, we're giving what it needed in the first place. So let me give you an example. When I work with people that have, urges to go, masturbate, do porn, smoke, do drugs, whatever, in every case, it has to do with a part of them that doesn't feel loved and accepted. So imagine when we were kids and we were rejected, we were judged, we were criticized, we were neglected, and maybe we found that through self-pleasure, through porns, through eating, through drinking, through smoking, we felt some relief from the pain of the lack of love. So now we have attached that this mechanism, this behavior is going to bring some type of relief, some type of pleasure that is going to make us feel less pain and maybe a little bit of love temporarily. So what we're talking about, that behavior was created in the first place because of a lack of love. So what is going to really dissolve it for good is bringing true unconditional love. My work is based on developing, connecting to unconditional love. Because as we tap into the unconditional love, it's going to make it easier to dissolve any type of behavior, any type of negative emotion, any type of negative belief. It can be dissolved through unconditional love. But when, again, you're denying, you're rejecting, you're ignoring, you're pretending it's not there, you're pretending that's not you and pushing it away, you're not really actually dealing with that. It's like having, a leak in my roof in a room in my house, and I close the door and I pretend it's not there. Do you think that that is going to really solve the problem? If I have an infection and I just take pills to reduce the fever or pills to stop the pain, am I going to really solve the problem, or am I going to put a band-aid to the situation to keep moving forward? I would recommend we stop this craziness of putting band-aids into problems to try to solve them. You're not going to get anywhere through that. And if you've tried it and it's not working, there you go. You see? And if it has worked sometimes, okay, what if you find a much better solution to be able to start moving forward in your life, start creating better habits, start creating more, healthy habits, getting rid of negative, habits that might be affecting you in different aspects of your life. So what can dissolve everything is unconditional love. When you get into a fight with a friend and then they come back and say, hey, you know what, Tommy, I'm sorry. I really was in a bad mood. I took it on you. I really love you. Maybe they give you a hug, they give you a handshake, whatever the type of relations you might have, right? Over here in our country, we tend to give hugs very easily. So I give a hug, right? I say, I'm sorry, and you feel much better, right? Through love, through forgiveness, not through ignoring. Imagine that I treat you like crap and then I come back and, pretend nothing happened. You might, push back a little bit. You might not feel safe around me. You might be like, I don't know what this guy is going to do something weird again. So the relationship that we had might be affected by the behavior that I had. So just pretending nothing happens is not the solution for somebody externally. The same happens internally. The solution is unconditional love, understanding what's going on and bringing love to the part of you that is needing love to help that part of you dissolve whatever behavior needs to be dissolved. So please, people, I beg you, let's stop listening to these teachings that are conditional love. Yes, again, I love Edgar Tolle in many of his teachings, but when it has to do with unconditional love, I still believe he still is missing the point there. Tony Robbins has great teachings, but when it has to do with dealing with your negatives, I truly believe he still has it not figured out. Mel Robbins, Bob Proctor, Abraham Hicks, Dr. Dispenza, many of those big names, when it has to do with unconditional love, I think they're missing the point. They're not really getting it. Because again, from spirit, we're supposed to love and accept every part of us, as we are meant to love and accept everybody else. And that doesn't mean letting people take advantage of you. No, 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 no. As I said at the beginning, setting boundaries. But it's important that we love and accept others And then we can practice loving and, or at the same time, loving and accepting ourselves no matter what. So if I feel sad, if I feel scared, if I feel jealous, if I feel shame, if I feel anger, if I feel fear, whatever it is that you're feeling, love and accept that part of you. Try to understand it so that you can bring presence, understanding, unconditional love, and see how that behavior starts dissolving. I have myself overcome procrastination by doing that. I have helped others overcome procrastination, negative habits. I have helped others reduce their weight, love themselves better, to start going to the gym, eat better, whatever it is that you're struggling with, trying to set a new habit. It all starts with unconditional love. So please, let's practice developing discernment to really check and say, okay, would this be okay from spirit to ignore a part of me that is not feeling happy, that is not feeling safe, that is feeling lonely? Would it be to just pretend it's not there and go do something else? No, that wouldn't be the best way. Would I do that to my kid? Let's put it this way and take this with you that I teach all the time. Would you do that to your kid? Your kid comes in and says, Dad, I'm scared. Your kid comes in and says, Dad, I'm sad. My kid the other day came to me and said, Dad, I'm jealous. Hey, buddy, why are you jealous? What's going on? He was jealous because there was somebody in his tennis class that was playing much better than he was. So I just embraced it. I loved him no matter what. I told him it's okay to feel jealous. There's nothing wrong with feeling jealous. Let's talk about this situation. What's going on? So we talked about it. I accepted his jealousy. I didn't deny it. I didn't tell him that it was wrong. I embraced it, accepted it, and learned from it and help him release the jealousy and feel better about himself. But by embracing, not by fighting back. So when you want to make a change in any aspect of your life, start practicing unconditional love. Love and accept every part of you. And I promise you that if you do it, loving and accepting unconditionally, your behaviors are going to start dissolving and you're going to start feeling better. Because what we needed as kids was unconditional love. And unfortunately, our parents didn't know how to be able to show that unconditional love, because when we didn't behave, maybe they lost their temper, they were tired, they were struggling financially, they were struggling in the marriage, whatever was going on, they might have not treated us in an unconditional way, because you know what, we still have unresolved issues. And me being a dad to my kids, I'm not always with unconditional love. I try to bring as much as I can, but I still have my unresolved issues that I'm still working with. So as I tell people, it's not about avoiding a storm in your life. It's about navigating the storm the best way possible. Storms, challenges are going to come our way. That is something that is inevitable. What we can do is learn tools to navigate that the best way possible. So, what is the best way? Through unconditional love. Unconditional love is going to make any storm reduce its impact to us, and we can learn and grow from every challenge we go through life. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the chat what you think about this. If you have any questions, please share there. And again, let's go out there and start practicing unconditional love to ourselves and to others. And that is how I believe this world is going to change forever. My world has changed since I have been doing this. I have helped tons of people around the world do the same thing. And I believe if we keep building that up, more masses doing that, loving and unconditionally, the world will eventually change. Because the person that goes out there and steals, the person that goes out there and robs, the corruption in the companies, in the government, all of that has to do with a lack of unconditional love. The more we judge, the more we criticize, the more we create what we don't want. So what we need to do is to start loving and accepting. That doesn't mean that we just stay back and not do anything or not set boundaries. No, no, no. But at least we start loving and accepting these people that what they need is love and acceptance. I hope that makes sense. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next week in the next episode of Monday Mindset and learning how the mind works and how to start making changes. Thank you, Duya. Stick around you over here in Zoom that we're going to keep going. The live is over in the social media. Thank you very much. Take care and see you, everyone. Bye.